Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 24 with the Oakland Athletics. You may be asking yourselves, hey, wait a minute, Abby, you're on the opening screen. I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like so that you can see the different options you have. As the commenter quite correctly pointed out, the only officially supported leagues in this game are Major League Baseball and the Korean Baseball Organization, the KBO. So when we finish Tour Through History, I'm thinking KBO will be the Monday series, but we'll figure it out. We'll see what makes the most sense, or we could just make a fantasy game as needed. So let's load into the game. I just want to show you guys what it looks like. I don't play Perfect Team. I know people have talked to me and said, "Wow, it's a lot of fun. You probably really enjoy it." They might be right, but I don't like games that I feel obligated to play. Um, I want to play a game because I want to play a game. So it's why I quit Wordle. At a certain point, games feel more like a job than they feel like a game. And if I'm not having a good time playing it, yeah. Same reason I stopped playing Star Wars: The Old Republic. Although I played it a lot and I enjoyed the stories, eventually I'm just like, nope, I'm I'm not going to play a game that requires me to sign in a certain number of times or do things at a certain frequency in order to get the most out of the game. It's just not my thing. Um, Unless I can just ignore it. So in our last episode, we had our first proper off-season as the Oakland A's. And obviously the most significant change is the addition of one Brian Reynolds. We traded with Pittsburgh in the offseason last year, giving up Christian Pache in order to get a really good flagship type player. Now, Mr. Reynolds certainly doesn't come cheap, and more importantly, Mr. Reynolds can opt out in just 2 years, which is perfect for us. We're going to get a chance to see what he can do, and if it turns out he's not all that great, then we shall deal with things as appropriate. The other thing I wanted to address before we dive in completely is a couple people said they do want to see me control promotions, but only for certain character qualities of players. I'm going to go ahead and do this for all the players that are in the 60 to 50 range. 50 or higher. 55 or higher. I will control their promotions and demotions and so forth. Just to see how all that works out. So I'm going to quickly do this, and I'm going to do... Oh, I can do it for all of them at once. Excellent. So there we go. I should also probably shortlist them all, huh? Just to make sure that they're all on my radar. I am reasonably impressed, not like ultra impressed, but reasonably impressed by how much we've revitalized the farm system. And I'm hoping that we'll continue to see developments as time progresses. So, other new baseballers. We have Zach Geloff, who we called up for the first time. He's my starting third baseman as we had traded away the previous guy whose name I've already forgotten. That's terrible. I don't remember anybody's names that well yet. So, whoops. I cannot remember who our previous third baseman was. You know what? Let's find out. I gotta get into the groove again of things. Oh, it was Almedes Diaz, who he traded to Oakland. Or not Oakland, Boston. Raimel Tapia was part of that trade, which we did in the middle of last season. We have Mr. Ruiz playing right field. I just learned in real life they actually have him play center, so that's a really cool option for us potentially. That is a really cool option for us if we decide to move on from Mr. Cameron Misner, who we got in a trade with Tampa Bay. So, Nick Allen returns from last season. Shea Langoliers returns from last season. Eurubiel Angeles was... Who did you trade him with? Oh, part of a trade for the Padres when they traded Sean Manaea. There you go. Free agency wasn't super busy. We did acquire a couple of new starting pitchers. First, we got James Paxton for $7 million. And I know he is not perfect, but he's at least a reasonable choice. And we also got Alex Cobb. Now, Mr. Cobb was far more affordable, and we even have an option for next year. That's kind of what happened in the offseason. I feel like I'm probably missing at least a couple of players. Oh, Blake Trinan. We also signed him in free agency. That's right. So, what is realistic for us to expect? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm glad that you asked. In our previous season, we won... I can never fucking remember anything. I'm an old man. Please forgive me. I went 65 and 97, which is obviously not great. And we kind of got screwed on the lottery. So instead of picking, like, in the top 5, we're supposed to be number 4, we got bumped all the way down to number 9. Not ideal, but this is a deep enough draft, in my opinion, that I think even picking 9th is still going to get us some quality players. Potentially. We're at least going to get somebody with 60 overall. So the first thing I'm going to do is, because this pick is fairly important, we're going to get some scouting reports as the season progresses. Everyone who is a 55 or above? No, not 55 or above. That would get silly. So I'm going to order all of you fine feathered friends to get a scouting report. It's like a really shitty draft for pitching. Yeah, there is exactly one top tier pitcher. Landon Victorian. What a fucking name. Of course, a scouting report on him too. And then we're going to switch over to all players. Very good. Right. Let us waste no further time. Our manager has set our lineup. I think he's fantastically stupid to back Cameron Misner first in a lot of ways, but that's the penalty of being a general manager. Mr. Mark Kotze is going to be making those decisions for us. At least I didn't do anything stupid like, this guy played this guy real fast. Let's put him in the middle of the lineup. I don't think it's funny that he put... Let me make sure this is up to date. I just think it's hilarious that Raimel Tapia, who has no power, is our cleanup hitter. But then pretty much no one on the team has reliable, consistent power at the moment. You do notice that there's some bumping around of people for different handedness. Daryl Ernais is going to get a chance to build on his somewhat successful rookie season, and we're going to see what happens. So without any further ado, let's jump in and play some frickin' baseball games. Already, we have these 3 individuals, all of whom shall be going to AAA. Oh, somebody else pointed out that the AI might not use a 38-man roster the way that we are. I would like to point out that that is actually not what's happened. They are, in fact, using the 38 men. I think I know what somebody was talking about. I know that used to be a thing where the AI would just ignore roster rules. That is not a thing that appears to be the case in OOTP 24. Garrett Shull. He's from Enid, Oklahoma. He has lots of talent. A plus contact hitter, above average power hitter, very slow, and a second division shortstop. So he's not a great defender. He's probably more a second baseman. This is already enough to give me pause about having him on our list. He's just not very good defensively, and he doesn't have an elite bat to make up for that. He's useful, but I certainly wouldn't take him absent better choices. If there are better choices, I would prefer to take those. Shintaro Fujinami is being a bit of a jerk. The thing is, he's actually somewhat competent, and I don't want to get rid of him right now. So we're going to suspend him for 5 games. That'll teach him. Okay, Modugno. Mr. Modugno looks like a fantastic player, an excellent hitter in every sense of the word. He's not a third baseman. He's definitely a first baseman, but this is quite good. Jacob Walsh, good contact, good pitch requisition, a pretty good defensive first baseman. He seems pretty solid. I don't love his range, but it's first base, so meh. Mr. Seigler here is just the definition of solid. There's very little to get excited about here. He's basically, like, his projections remind me of a player that's more of a reserve outfielder, not a starter by any means. So, Mr. Aiden Harris is a big old guy with 15 home run ceiling. I wonder where 15 homers is coming from. I like the positional flexibility. That's always greatly appreciated. He's a good all-around hitter. There's very little to dislike here. Maybe the fact he played for kind of a sub-tier high school, but he's going to a pretty good college. Peyton Stovall. Good eye, good contact. We're seeing a lot of that, actually. He's a bit more extreme, though. There's a lot to like about him. He's a college player, which means he'll develop quite quickly, we're hoping. He's got elite contact. But I question his raw ability as a first baseman. Is this the kind of first baseman we want to build around? Do we want the kind of player that's going to be... Like, he might hit 300 with really good on-base skills, but doesn't have a ton of power. So an interesting player, to be certain. Kassan Evans is a reasonably adequate defensive infielder who might be a decent hitter and also might not be. 2 things give me pause about him. First, the school he went to isn't that great. And second, he's not going to a great university either. As second baseman, I could do a whole hell of a lot worse. But this isn't the kind of player that really gets me motivated. He doesn't seem like a number 9 overall pick to me. Mateo Grave. Above average power. That's pretty good. I certainly don't hate this skill set. He is reasonably talented. I'm seeing a lot of corner infielders. That seems to be kind of the order of the day here. He seems okay. I'm a little worried about an all-or-nothing profile where he's either getting singles or homers and not a lot in between. We don't have enough of his stats to really tell you for sure what's going on with that, but it's something to keep in mind. Owen Paino. He is a shortstop, above-average power hitter. Okay, Paino is extremely competent. Extremely competent. This is the first player I'm looking at that I'm actually genuinely excited about. He's such a good hitter, and he's not a great defender at any infield position, but he's a good defender at every infield position. There's a lot to like about Mr. Paino. Right now, he is my first pick. If he's available, Paino is probably the guy that I'm thinking of taking. Derek Currio, a good defender, a decent average. If I needed a center fielder, I think he'd be the guy I'd go with. He's very athletic, pretty fast, and a reasonably good hitter. He's also expensive as shit. He's not quite a local boy. I mean, he's in Orange County. He's not from Alameda, which is where Oakland is. But he's going to LSU. That's a good sign for him. Like, he's going to a good baseball school. The Mooney Report. There's a lot to like about him as a shortstop. He's still not my favorite player, but he's very competent. He looks like he's going to be pretty well-rounded. He's already had 2 years at Duke. He's a reasonably good arm, so he could easily end up shipping over to third base at some point in the future. He's got the arm to handle it. There's a lot to like about Mooney. I certainly wouldn't complain too much about him. Mullinax Ford, Michael Mullinax. I honestly don't know what it is about him that people are rating so highly, unless it's his speed. Because, like, hitting-wise, he's fine. Outfield-wise, he's fine. He's not a bad player, but he's not, like, frontline amazing. It's got to be the speed. I think that's why our scout rates him so highly. So, Nolan Traeger. He's a catcher. He's actually a pretty good catcher. And you know how I like my players with lots of gap power. This is another genuinely reasonable pick. He's real young. He's a good catcher. And that gap power is going to play nicely in the majors. He might not hit a ton of home runs, but we don't have a great park for homers anyway. I like the unique double power that he has. Pretty happy about that. Our pitchery chum here, he's fine. I don't really feel one way or another about him. I don't like the control. It's a bit on the low side. He's got a nice mix of pitches and fastball, curveball, changeup. He's pitched at an elite level against average competition. With his size, 6'4", 170 is awfully thin. I have to assume he's going to put on some weight and probably put on some more velocity. So there's some room to grow here. That's a skinny ass kid though. 6'4", 170 pounds. Yeah. And then we have Tommy White. Interesting. Why are we rating him as an 80? Like, he's really talented. And he is a junior in college. And he's going to a really good school, so that definitely plays a role here. He's more likely to actually translate these numbers to the big league level, but he doesn't have a defensive home unless it's first base. And so that's a limiting factor. He does have a really good hit tool, though, and a very well-mixed other skill set, which means he could be a very reliable everyday hitter. We know a little bit more than we did before, and that's always excellent news. I also noticed none of these are real players, I don't think. Because I'm not seeing any of the big names that I've heard coming out of college, but maybe they are actual real players. Theo Gillen, I remember him. We had him in the Pirates. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, let me know if you're a real active prospect follower in the minors, if these are real players or not. Or if they're just randomly generated. Who can say, really? Let's advance time a bit farther, though. And let's just see how things go. We can have Mark Vientos back. He's a really, really good first base prospect. I don't think I'm. Oh, he's a Rule 5 pick, which means he has to be on the Major League roster if I want to keep him. Oh, no, he's a Rule 5 pick. Wait, what? Yeah. If I want to keep him, then I need to put him on the 40-man. I like him better than Jordan Diaz, other than the defense. Is another position I'm really well stocked at. I don't need 3 catchers. I do not require 3 catchers. Let's send... Who's starting catcher right now? Is it Pozo or Langoliers? Pozo's not starting. I'm going to put him in the minors for right now and call up Vientos. And then we're going to let him update his ideas here. You're playing the third over Giloff. Oh, Giloff isn't very good. Okay, then let's send him to the minors instead, and I actually will carry the 3 catchers. I just like the idea of having 3 catchers. I think it's really helpful, and it's going to help us be a more well-rounded team. Plus, I'm not sure which catchers, if any, are going to be the most reliable, so this definitely helps us with that. Okay. I don't trust him at third all that well, but I don't mind him being in first until I can find a better version of Jordan Diaz. Because he's probably not going to be a starting first baseman for too much longer for us. We'll see what happens, though. We'll definitely see how this season progresses. You would give me... Okay, first of all, Luis Barrett. Absolutely nothing of interest to me. Nelson Quiros, equally uninteresting. I'm just going to refuse on this one. Like, I don't want either of those players. They offer very minimal interest to me. Dalton Jeffries was a Rule 5 pick that I think is just a return to us. Yeah. There we go. So in June, I'm going to take a look at the stats of our youngsters and see who, if anyone, should be promoted. Alright, Kirby Sneed. I don't see a lot of value in keeping you around. Because I already got some pretty young dynamic relievers. I'm going to trade you. Hopefully for an interesting prospect. I remember really thinking about this time. There you go. Let's start with Andrew Pinter. Mr. Pinter is a averagely competent infielder with some decent batting skills. Alan Roden is an elite discipline guy with some decent bat skills. I am concerned about his skills, quote unquote, in the outfield. So I think Pinter becomes the better fit. So we're going to make that deal. Okay, interesting player development changes here. Mason Miller has improved his control, as has Zach Jackson, as has Raisel Iglesias. Paul Blackburn has improved his control, but has dropped his stamina. Better power from Langoliers. Vientos is slipping. That's not a great look. Tapia is even better hitting, though. Let's look at the youngsters. Richard Fitz is beginning to find his true talent level, and his true talent level isn't that enticing, but he's getting there. Soderstrom is turning into a top quality hitter. Is he? Cole Cummings is better. Zach Geloff is worse. Roy Bear Salinas is better. Cool. Soderstrom presents an interesting issue for us because he's actually not a very good catcher. Interesting. His future might be first base. I mean, we'll wait, though, and we'll see where people are and make decisions later on. But for right now, I'm not going to look at our present-day stats. They don't matter. Let's just zip on forward. We're already performing a bit better than I expected. I mean, losing James Paxton for 2 weeks is probably not going to help that. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a new starting pitcher. I think it's going to be Richard Fitz. You may ask yourself, why am I not rushing Skeens? I want him to be at a really good level before we call him up. He's incredibly important to our success. He's a possible ace, and I don't want to risk him. His scouting report says it's very high. He improved his stuff in his movement, which is excellent news. But yeah, I just don't want to rush him. So we're going to call up Richard Fitz, and Mr. Fitz here is going to get to make... Actually, I guess it's not my call, is it? Interesting. You're going to start Ken Waldichuk instead. I mean, I suppose that's fair. I guess I can't be too upset about that, but that is a bit weird. But okay. Well, Mr. Paxton recover. We're almost shockingly competent this year. I don't know how to feel about this. Mr. Fitz, please return to the minors. Mr. Paxton, please return to the majors. And we will go from there. Okay. So at the end of May here, we've had 2 months of at-bats. We can quickly take stock of our current team and maybe make some decisions about the minors too. Hopefully this will make the in-season stuff a bit more interesting if I'm messing around with the minors. A sore back, Alex Cobb. You and me both, brother. You and me both. Tyler Soderstrom is utterly dominating, which is excellent news. Alright, so first things first, let's look at the team as a whole. We're actually hitting at a pretty high level. Mark Vientos is already proven to be an excellent pick. He's combining reasonably good power with pretty decent contact. There's obviously still a lot to unlock here, but so far so good. He's even a competent third baseman, which I wasn't prepared for, and I am here for 100%. Cameron Misner is playing at an extremely high level. This is maybe the biggest surprise among our players. He's an incredibly good on-base machine. He's even got a surprising amount of power. And he's playing center field at a pretty decent clip. Mr. Tapia, again, high average. He's not the best. I like what I'm getting from him, but I'm not utterly convinced that he is an elite player and somebody worth keeping forever and ever. Brian Reynolds is off to a slow start, which is a little bit concerning to me. He's definitely better than this. What we have is fine. Like, I don't mind having a really good on base guy that plays really good defense, but I'd like to see more out of him. So hopefully he can warm up a bit in the lower part of the season. Jordan Diaz is the first player here that definitely needs to be replaced. Whatever talents Diaz may have, he's not hitting. And he's not a good enough player to play if he can't hit. So I think Mr. Diaz is going to be due for a ticket to the minors in the very near future. Ruiz is fine. He certainly doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence, but he's at least getting on base and running quite well. He stole 56 bases last year. Wild. Mr. Angeles is not amazing. He's an average-only hitter, but I don't think I have a good replacement at second base yet, so I'm going to have to investigate that in the future. Allen's good. Langoliers is excellent. Our one big power guy is hitting for a decent amount of power. Nick Allen's playing at a decently high level. So the number one player that needs to be replaced at this point is Jordan Diaz. So I've got a couple of options to replace Mr. Diaz. The first, if we want to get real crazy, is calling up Soderstrom and having him play first. Because this man is utterly dominating in AAA. And he also dominated in AA. Doesn't have a lot left to learn in the minors. How bad would he be as a first baseman? He's reasonably competent, actually. So Soderstrom is perhaps the home run choice. Mr. Zach Geloff is fairly well-rounded. Hardly exciting, but well-rounded. I wish I had a more traditional first baseman available, because then I would sincerely consider calling people up. I'm a little bit disappointed here, actually. It looks like these two guys have actually declined slightly. At least this is a 55. Why is this is a 50 here? What? What? I'm confused. It says here's a 55 potential. Here it says you're a 50? Anyway. Okay. So the question is, do we demote Diaz, replace him with Geloff? Do we trade Diaz? Or do we call up Soderstrom and have him play first? I want to give Soderstrom one more month at AAA. So I think we call up Geloff and send down Diaz. I think that's the right call. I guess we'll stick him at first for the moment. There we go. Okay, so that is decision one made. How's the pitching doing? We have two pitchers that are pitching very badly. Actually, our starting pitching as a whole is actually quite terrible. Which is part of the reason why we're not better than we look. And that's no surprise. We have a bunch of pitchers that are all right around the same talent level. There's a lot of argument to call up Skeens. But he's actually struggling a tiny bit, and I'd like to keep him in AAA. If we make the playoffs this season, great. If we don't make the playoffs this season, equally great. But I'm not going to make a decision. I'm not going to rush somebody to the majors just to fill that particular need. I mean, Fitz at least has a little bit of upside left, I guess. Luke Orphy. You're 20 years old. I probably don't want a 20-year-old in rookie ball. Let's send you and Sakura up. And let's let the other youngsters get some more reps in. Daniel Susak. Oh, I see. This is a May 3rd scouting report. I wasn't looking up at the top. Interesting. Let me request a scouting report on Mr. Muncie here, because that could impact other decision making. So if we wanted to make a real run of it, we would probably want starting pitching. I don't know how we get that, though. Like, yes, we have Paul Skeens, undoubtedly. But I don't want to rush him to the majors. He's got a Twitter handle. That's fun. I could tweet him right now and be like, yo, bro, you're in my Oakland A's franchise and you're not doing so hot. How about you pitch better? What would it take to get a starting pitcher? What do I have depth at? I have depth at catching prospects. I have 3 catchers in the major leagues, and I have Daniel Susak. Oh, wow, you're not performing very well at all in Double-A. Max Muncy is kind of crushing it, though. And he did play pretty well in Double-A last year. I'm going to go ahead and promote him to Triple-A. Wow, Freddie Tarnock is... Oh, because you turned him into a starter. I see. I see. We're trying to sneak any starting pitchers through. I mean, Sawyer Gibson Long isn't that exciting. He ain't bad, but he's not great. If we're still in a pretty good position in July, I will very strongly consider making a couple of moves for a starting pitcher or two. We think he's a 50. Okay. So Max Muncy's ceiling isn't quite as high as you were maybe expecting. That's fine. There's no worries there. I don't know how we're winning all these games, but I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. Okay, Vientos is improving. Skeens' stuff is getting better. That's positively terrifying. Soderstrom is getting better at hitting. Mr. Willie DePaula learned a splitter and just shot up the rankings there. Very nice. Okay. Let's talk about Soderstrom. At what point do we just shift him over to first base and get him to start playing first? Because he's kind of killing it right now. That being said, his profile does concern me. If he's hitting for average in power, he's going to be a fantastic player and an amazing piece to the puzzle. If either of those things wavers even slightly, he's going to be a bit more problematic. I'm going to set game strategy, and I'm going to force him to play first base. And we're going to see how quickly he can learn first. Because he's not a catcher. At all. So we'll see how he develops there. So I'm going to give him one more month, and then if by the trading deadline he looks like he's in really good shape, I might consider promoting him. Alright. So how's it looking now? The pitching is still quite bad, but it has improved. The offense is really solid, except for Brian Reynolds again. Which is weird, right? Like, the one player expected to be quite good is the one who struggled the most. I'm also paying him the most. So how about you think about not doing that? We're getting really good offensive contributions almost across the board. Cameron Misner turning into a cleanup hitter is something I did not expect. But I'm absolutely here for it. If he wants to hit 20, 30 home runs, I will happily keep that around. Shea Langelier should probably not be batting ninth, but I don't want to fuck with a good thing, and he is hitting home runs at a very prodigious pace. Cool. Vientos could be better. I'm willing to just let him work through it, though, because he does have quite a bit of experience at AAA. And he played very well in AAA, so I don't think he's got a lot left to learn at the minor league levels. We're just going to let him work through his issues. Nick Allen is playing fairly well. Rubio Angelos hitting 300 is not a thing I expected, but I'm pretty happy about. We've also got a really good defense. So, two questions present themselves. One, does this seem genuine? Can we make the playoffs this year? We're already at 21 games over 500. I think the answer, can we make the playoffs, is an emphatic yes. My second question, what are we willing to do in order to solidify our chances by acquiring a quality starting pitcher? That's a bit more challenging. It's a bit more challenging. What's our plan? How do we unlock this rotation? How do we get the kind of starting pitcher that can take us over the hump? Because our rotation is so underwhelming, if we did make the playoffs, I don't like our chances of going very deep into the playoffs. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be extremely wrong. But I don't think that I am wrong. Let's look at who you currently have in the rotation. James Paxton has been a revelation this season. He's pitched as well as we could have reasonably expected. He wants to come back. Depending on his salary demands, I might consider it. But so far, James Paxton has pitched at a very high level and is a key reason why we're doing as well as we are. Then we have Fujinami. Mr. Fujinami is not as exciting. He is pitching well, but the walks are a gigantic issue. And I don't know how to fix that. If he could cut his walk rate, I think he'd be one of the better pitchers in the league. But that may be too tall an ask for him. We'll have to see. Blackburn and Cobb are very, very similar pitchers, except Cobb is way older. And then Kyle Muller is fine, but not super thrilling. So the obvious way to fix this problem is to pick a pitcher, send him down, and call up Skeens. That is option the first. Call up Skeens, hand him the keys to the proverbial kingdom, and see what he can do in the major leagues. And there's a lot to be said for that. He hasn't pitched greatly in AAA. A lot of his underlying peripherals look really solid. It's the home runs that are a problem. He's got a bit of gopheritis, does Mr. Skeens. So leaving him in the minors for at least one more month, even if it means we can't put him on the 40-man for purposes of the playoffs, might be smart. Then again, it might not be smart. I think we have to consider him carefully at the trading deadline. Is Richard Fitz better than anybody I currently have? I mean, he's the equivalent of Alex Cobb, for better or worse. JP Sears is a better version of Alex Cobb. Freddie Tarnok is a Freddie Tarnok version of them. We just have a bunch of pitchers that are Alex Cobb's level or below. But the question is there a market for Alex Cobb? Probably not. So, okay. Rosman Verdugo. Well, you did play a bit in rookie ball last season, and you played at a reasonably high level. I would just want to give you more structure, because you are still fairly young, and we'll probably have you called up here before too much longer. Travis Sakura, oh my god. He's got a lot to work on. Maybe don't walk 26 fucking people in 21 innings. I'm just saying. That seems like a bad decision from you. Alright. What else do we want to do here? What is Drew Ruchinski even doing? Oh, he's in AAA. Okay. I can't trade Almeida Diaz because I don't have him anymore. That's not how trading works. Sam Haggerty's wanting an awful lot of money. What happened? Uh-oh. I'm going to save the game real quick. Where'd Mr. Haggerty go? Here he is. Being reasonably competent at a large number of positions isn't really worth me paying $2 to $3 million. Let's try to flip him for an interesting prospect, perhaps. Perhaps. Hell, let's go for Brogue first and see if we can get a starting pitcher. But if we can't, then we'll talk about other options. Okay. Duly noted. I can get Alan Roden. I don't really want Alan Roden, though. I just frankly don't see the appeal. If he could catch, maybe. Like, I guess he's not a terrible catcher. He's just a very weird skill set. It's not a bad skill set, but it's certainly not the kind of skill set that feeds me with joy or anything like that. I think I'll make the trade just because Haggerty is costing me so much more money. But I'm not necessarily, like, incredibly thrilled about that. I'm going to put you on the 38 man because I have to. And I'm going to send you to AAA. Okay. Next decision. Other players that are making way too much money are threatening to make way too much money. Brandon Bielak is going to want a pretty sizable raise, which he definitely doesn't deserve. Like, at all. Let's trade him. Nothing. That's fair. I could always just non-tender him if he gets some sort of ridiculous demand. Okay. Alright. So, obvious things are going to happen this season. First of all, I'm opting out of Alex Cobb's second year. Nothing new show me has proven that he deserves a second year. He can find a job with somebody else for all I care. Nobody's going to want Drew Rucinski. I'm going to try it and see if there's any demand for him, but I can't imagine there is very much. And there is not. Not a surprise. I can't give you a raise, Mr. Paxton. I apologize. We're in too good a plat position to trade James Paxton. I think that would be very, very short-sighted indeed. So I'm not going to trade Paxton. We're going to keep him till the end of the season. And we'll just go our separate ways. Alright. Anybody want to consider locking up long term? Let's start with Nick Allen. Nick Allen is a really good shortstop. Nick Allen is also not a very good hitter. A Nick Allen that is an appreciable fraction of league average is really valuable because he's so good defensively. He's also only 25. If we do offer contract extension, he wants a 1-year deal. If I offered you 5 years, oh, that's interesting. So this is what he wants if I did a long-term contract. It only buys me 1 year of free agency. That seems really short-sighted. I don't think so. I don't think this is very smart. I'm going to decline that. And we're just going to let him test free agency in a year or two, maybe. Or not test free agency. We're just going to deal with him later. Okay. Looking down the list. Langoliers is a really, really interesting problem. Langoliers has one and only one offensive skill, which is hitting home runs. And Shea Langoliers is knocking at 274 regularly. I don't think that's a fair ask of him. But he's an elite defender with at least one top-tier offensive skill. And that's not nothing. He's their MVP so far this season. So the question becomes, what is he looking for in a longer-term contract? If I'm looking for some cost certainty. Oh dear God. Absolutely not. Not to a player with one who is just now entering his second full season. That is a terrible risk. Absolutely not. I refuse. You can't make me. I'd rather sign Nick Allen, to be honest with you, if I was going to sign either of them. Wait, what? $192 million? Oh, because all these guys are apparently going to be getting giant arbitration contracts, which actually strikes me as pretty unlikely, but meh. Okay, so right now there's nobody that I can definitely tell you is part of the next great Elite A's team that I'm willing to invest a bunch of money in yet. Cameron Misner, if I thought he could put this in every year, I would happily do it. Like, he's got to be a front runner for Rookie of the Year. He's got to be. So, okay. That was a whole lot of talking to get very little done. But we're going to have a draft coming up, so that'll be nice. Wait, I have a 10-game lead in first place? Did I read that right? It's 8.5 now, but holy shit. I have a feeling this probably won't last, but we'll see. We'll absolutely see. He is happy. Expiring contracts for people. I don't really feel like going through the minutia of deciding who I want to keep and who I don't just yet. Anybody who didn't take an extension is going to get examined carefully. Gabriel Ozuna can walk. In fact, you know what? Unless you are secretly like a really good coach, I'm not going to keep you around if you're going to be like that. If you're going to be like, oh, gross, the Oakland A's. I like you a lot as a manager, Mr. Goldby. I would like to keep you around, please. David Brito is fine, I guess. Jose Vicente is actually a really good manager. I'm going to reassign him, but he's going to get promoted to a managerial gig as soon as I can find him one. Okay, neat. Let us now keep going up to the draft. Kyle Muller is going to miss 5 weeks. It's probably going to be Fitz or it's going to be Sears. I think it's going to be Sears, actually. Sears is a little bit better pitcher at this point. And then we're going to see if you put Waldichuk in the rotation or if you're going to put... You put Sears in the rotation. That seems pretty reasonable to me. Wonder how many All-Stars we're going to get. I don't know. All right, first year player draft. All players. Okay, so Andre Madugno did fall to me. He is a really talented hitter that I don't think is going to stick at third base, but he's a big kid and he's really, really talented. There's also Owen Paino. And he's such a good hitter with so much potential defensively. Damn. Here's the thing with Mr. Modugno. Or Modugno, perhaps. He has so much talent. He's such a good hitter. Am I overthinking it if I draft him, or do I go for Paino because he's so well-rounded? Like, I don't see much of a scenario where Paino doesn't end up being a pretty good player. He's not going to be elite, but he is going to be really good at getting on base and a very competent middle infielder wherever I stick him. But then there's Modugno. Then there's also, by the way, Harris. Harris is Modugno, but with a little bit more batting average, it would seem. Alex Mooney is the best shortstop in this draft. He's also incredibly expensive, and I don't have that much money to draft players. So the other advantage of taking Modugno is he only wants the slot, but I think Paino wants less than the slot. Yeah, my slot is 6.8 million. So if I can get somebody under slot. Oh, so he's a lot more expensive. And I want to be able to sign players a little bit later on. I'm going to go for Paino. This is just what my gut is telling me, that he's the best overall fit. So Paino, I choose you. Okay, now I have to take Harris. Harris is too dynamic hitter with too many different positions that he can play. I think he's a perfect choice to supplement our draft thus far. Okay, Landon Victorian is still around. I'm gonna take him. I'm not convinced he's gonna be a megastar, but he's only a third round pick. And so I don't mind if it takes him a while longer to be the best version of himself. So we're going to draft him. And I'm going to shortlist him too. I'll come back eventually. Okay. So that's that. Let's go to my next pick. Alright. So Nolan Traeger is the highest potential left, and he's a really good hitter that happens to play catcher. I will happily take this in a 4th round pick. Happily. Alright, Zach Swanson, what is your deal, my friend? Stuff, movement, and control. Fastball, slider, changeup. Doesn't throw very hard. Your future might be as a reliever, but I'm okay with that. I think you're actually a very reasonable selection. Duncan Marson is the last 50 plus. He's thoroughly unremarkable, but he played really well against top quality prediction. And he's got to be fairly smart because he's going to Stanford. So I will select him and see what happens. Let us switch now to raw potential. Is there any big time contact hitter left in the draft? Not really. Carson DiMartini is one of the more solid all-around players. I'm going to go ahead and grab him. I think he seems like a good choice. I love this for us. Next, we're going to check pitching potential. I want someone who can strike a fool out, while at least having some capabilities otherwise. Yeah, drafting a guy like you becomes, can we get anything more out of you? And I'm not convinced we can. I'm just going to go ahead and let my scouting director finish the rest of the draft at this point. I trust him. Okay. It's been a while since I've drafted people expressly so I could save money, but I'm here for it. There we go. This is a really strong draft class. It may lack some of the top end players, but it's got a lot of really good ones. And players that can certainly be at least all-star level if everything breaks out. I think my favorite player in this draft is probably going to be Traeger. He's such a good under the whatchajigger signing. Under the radar. I don't know why I can think of the word radar. Who's also a competent catcher, and there's no such thing as too many catchers. Mr. Zach Swanson, we'll just see how you develop. You're definitely my project in this draft. If you keep developing your changeup, you've got a chance to be a pretty solid choice. So, let's go to the All-Star game. Okay, so Mr. Victorian, you are 18 years old. I think it is highly relevant to keep you in rookie ball to start. Nolan Traeger is equally 18 years old. He is as 18 years old as the other guy that's 18. We're gonna let you do your thing. Zach Swanson also can go right to the Complex League. That's fine. Who made it from Oakland? Colin Palouse, for some reason, and Ken Waldachuk and Raisel Iglesias, so 3 relievers, plus Shea Langoliers, plus Cameron Misner. That's 5 All-Stars. That's a good number of All-Stars. I'm pretty happy about that. I love it. And Brian Reynolds. Oh, nice. I had 6 All-Stars. Wild. Skeens made the minor league All-Star team, as did Tyler Soderstrom. No surprises there. Let's get up to the trading deadline and then see how things are looking. I'm not even going to put him on the IL for that. That's not really worth my time, and I don't have a really obvious person to call up. Really? You dumb fucker. Drive carefully, asshole. Aiden Harris. There. Joey Gallo won the home run challenge. That's pretty dope. And disable. How do you have 2,000 OPS off of only 1 hit? Did you get like hit by a pitch? Oh, because it always adds it, doesn't it? Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. I'm a potato. I am patat. Okay. Josh Martin is not very good, so I will decline your offer. Frankie Montas. Didn't Montas... Yeah, Montas was with Oakland before. How the worm has turned. So here's the thing. I could put him back in the rotation, and he'd probably be an upgrade over some of the guys I've already got. I don't hate this idea at all. I'm giving you Carlos Sarmiento, so I'm really giving up very little. Let's make this happen. If I make him a starter, what is he rated? A 40. That's fine. Whenever I get anybody to bite on Alex Cobb. Actually, Cobb has actually improved significantly. That's funny. I'm going to send down Zach Jackson, and we're going to use Montauk in some capacity. Okay. Kyle Muller's getting about another 3 weeks. That's fine. You would give me the Jorge Mateo. Mateo's fine. I guess, but not good enough to give up a package quite like this. I'd give you Capel for him, and I can make him into a super utility guy, but otherwise I am not convinced at all that he would be a good addition to this team. What if I just gave you Capel and no one else? And I'm going to need you to eat part of his salary. Okay. Done. I'm going to send Hernais to the minors to play every day. Or do I get rid of Angelus? And it's actually playing quite well. Let's get Hernais down to the minors. And we'll activate Mateo. And you can reset your preferences as you like. I kind of feel you were going to end up benching Angelus because Mateo's just so good defensively, but I kind of wished you hadn't. But that's fine. It does make us a deeper team. That's a certainty. The Dodgers don't want Gavin Lux. Oh, Gavin Lux is making a whole hell of a lot of money. I can't afford that shit. But thank you. Is there a way for us to get a starting pitcher? Ideally a young starting pitcher, but I'm not that foolish. Is there any interesting pitchers on the trading block? Starters. Okay, Jose Quintana ain't happening. I definitely can't afford that. I super can't afford Max Scherzer. I've never been able to afford a new player less than Max Scherzer. Houston doesn't want Framber Valdez? I mean, fair, he's really expensive, but I don't have enough salary room to add most of these guys, unfortunately. So, we're just going to keep going. I don't think so. I don't think that's a player that I want. Interesting. Like, JJ Bleday doesn't fill me with any kind of confidence that he's a very good player. I don't have to pay for the guy either. I could send out JP Sears, let him get more experience in the minors, and yeah, let's do that. Done. So Sears goes to the minors, and John Brevia is added to the pitching staff. What else we got? I saw at least one other offer from the Cubs. Miguel Sano. Like, I'm not saying I don't want more power, but all he is power and occasionally drawing walks. I don't think that's a good fit for us, so I think we'll pass on that. And thanks, Jorge Mateo, you unbelievable jerk. Well, I just lost the shit out of that trade. Welcome back, Hernais. Sorry, mate. Really, game. Man, I was excited to have Montas, too. I think it would have made us a much deeper lineup. I really don't want Miguel Sano. I just don't. Cease thy nonsense. Finish today. Now let's see what this fancy new trade deadline thing is all about. So every 4 minutes, teams will evaluate the trade offers presented to them. Okay, what's happening? Continue. I'm gonna do pause. Oh, here you go. Resume. Reject. 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 Okay, trade block, trade block, trade block, trade block, trade block. Ariel Miranda is a really solid pitcher. Let's look at prospects that I might be willing to cough up for an upgrade to my starting pitching. I would consider giving up Carlos Amaya for this guy. I need you to retain his salary for this year. I'm gonna reject this trade. I don't want Jared Walsh. Gavin Lux is somewhat tempting. I am deeply concerned about the long-term contract you've already given him, though. I don't think that's a good fit for me. So I'm going to mark him as not interested. I'm going to reject this trade. And is there any other deal I would like to make? I can't afford a lot of the people being offered. Let's be real here. I don't really need a lot of what I'm seeing here. Like, a pretty solid first baseman would be nice, but I've already kind of got, like, the guy I've got. I'm looking more for players that have a bit more upside to them. Like, would I love a Max Scherzer or Jose Quintana? Absolutely, but you're not going to make this happen. Because I'm going to need you to eat his entire contract. That's the issue, right? Like, I can't do this without it. I'm not going to trade James Paxton. He's a little bit too valuable to me. And resume. Well, I can actually just sim to the next day. That's pretty cool. I got a reply. Okay, I'd have to add something else to the deal. Kevin Kelly is fine. Done. Yeah, I don't want CJ Cron. Um, what else is interesting to me? Like all of my big time trades were made during the off season and like right about now. Like I literally can't think of anything that I would want to add at this point, other than an elite starting pitcher, which I can't afford. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just let's see here. How do I speed this up? Here you go. Just skip to the next sim. I don't want Jared Walsh. Like quite literally, he offers me nothing. He's an okay first baseman. I have plenty of those. I reject your trade. I mean, is there another realistic thing that I want? Or even that I want to give up? Like, I would love to trade Drew Rucinski for literally anything, but... Oh, it's done. Okay. That's kind of cool, actually. I actually really enjoy that. That's a very neat way to do that stuff. I love it. Let's take our brand new acquisition, Mr. Ariel Miranda. And where do I want you? Who am I going to replace you with? Interesting. I can't actually get rid of anybody on the roster without putting them through waivers. If somebody wants Alex Cobb-Ballion to take him off the waivers, I'm fine with that. Or Paul Blackburn, for that matter. What I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to put you... Do you have any options left? Or have you used up all your options? Okay, this is your final option year. Perfect. I'm going to put you on the 38 man. I'm going to send you to AAA. This is only until... Oh, shoot. No. If I don't have him on the Major League roster, I can't use him in the playoffs. Let's try to get Cobb through waivers. Oh, wait. He can refuse. Blackburn can't. Like, the likelihood of somebody claiming Blackburn off waivers seems pretty unlikely to me, and if they did, I think I'd actually be okay with that, so we're going to do that, so that I can have Miranda in the rotation. There you go. And go up to roster expansion. Paxton losing his fastball, not too terribly surprising given his age. Some reasonably good stuff happening here. Rosman Verdugo is improving in the wrong direction. Ironically, Rosman Verdugo has the best season of his young career, and he's just like, nope. I'm going to go and promote you to A-ball. This is purely because I want you to have at least a chance to make something of yourself. Oh, let's go real quick and check out our people that we're controlling and see if there's anybody who needs to be moved around. Muncie's doing fine in AAA. He's probably overdue for a call-up. I might actually do that when rosters expand. Daniel Susak is playing quite well in Double A. And I am short a catcher, so let's go ahead and promote you to Triple A. I think you've earned that much. Jack Moss is playing well enough to at least get promoted to High A. Luke Orphy is really struggling. Because he's only 20 years old, I don't want to rush him out of see if I can recover him at all. I'm going to send him to the Arizona Complex League and see if that accomplishes anything of note. Travis Sakura is very badly struggling. We're going to send him back to rookie ball. And I just called up Rossman for Dugo. Aiden Harris is not doing amazing yet. I mean, the thing is with any of the true rookies, I'm going to leave them where they are because I don't know enough about them yet. I do know that a 21-year-old should not be going to rookie ball. So I'm going to send you to A, actually. Okay. Wait, what? What are all these frickin' clowns? Let me go real quick to roster. No, minor leagues, yes. So add a filter. So we're going to put the league level is Rookie League. And then add filter. Age is greater than 23. Greater than or equal to. And basically overall less than 30. Not overall potential. No, not contact. Oh my gosh. You die now. Potential is less than 30. If you don't have like a major league future, I'm not going to keep you in here. I'm going to save this filter, and this is going to be culling the minors. What's going to happen now? Later, fuckers. Okay, I feel much better about... Now how many players are left in rookie ball? Out of curiosity. Yeah, we just cut like 20 people. That feels really good, actually. I feel a lot better about our mid to high level prospects. Neat. One last decision. Do we call up Soderstrom? Like, Zach Geloff has been fine, but he hasn't been, like, a megastar or anything like that. Or do we let Soderstrom, like, fully lock into first base? I mean, he's got 27 homers in AAA. I don't think he has anything left to learn. Soderstrom's gonna get called up, I think. Yeah, he's getting called up. He's too good. He's too good. He's been utterly dominating in every sense of the word in the minors. I have no reason not to let him play in the majors at this point. He has nothing left to prove in the minors. And he instantly becomes one of the most important players on the roster, and I appreciate that a lot. Okay. Anybody else? Oh shit, it's August 1st, which means it didn't matter. He's still not going to be eligible to be on the postseason roster. It's alright, though. Alex Cobb misses 2 weeks. Sounds like JP Sears is coming right back to the majors. Ken Waldichuk instantly put into the rotation again? Okay. Where's Frankie Montas? Did he get hurt? Maybe he got hurt. As predicted, nobody claimed Blackburn. I am not at all surprised. I will honestly probably either trade him in the offseason or even just non-tender him. I can't afford to spend like $5-6 million for a reliever or a starter that's not that great. So I don't know when Kyle Muller is coming back. That's fine. Alex Cobb can come off the minor league roster. I'm going to go ahead and put him on a rehab assignment. And then once rosters expand in September, we will call him up. We can have Kyle Muller back. Amazing. I don't actually want him back, though. Can I just send him to the minors? Yes, I can. By the way, it annoys the fuck out of me that the A's have the apostrophe, because that's not how apostrophes have ever worked, ever. But, whatever. Okay, people are gonna be finding new jobs, that's fine. I see that Blake Trinan is losing his velocity, that is a concern. Daniel Susak is getting better. Garrett Irvin is getting better. None of the rookies are like going insane yet, which is fine. That's reasonable. We're going to go ahead and call Alex Cobb up. That's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to get our... Or is he hurt again? Did you quite literally get hurt again, Alex Cobb? No, you're just on a rehab assignment. Okay, neat. Oh, I can have a full roster of 38 players now. That's pretty crazy. Do what you want, Kotze. So Cobb starts and Waldichuk goes back to the bullpen. Anybody else I want to call up or give some reps to? Not at the moment. I mean, Chad Smith would actually be a pretty reasonable choice, too. Let's do that. Yeah, no, Soderstrom doesn't have the AND symbol, so he is not eligible to be on our team for the postseason. So it's going to be either Diaz or Giloff. It's going to be Giloff. I'm going to call him back up. And, yeah. So he's taken to the majors rather well. Is he that bad defensively? I mean, he's not great, but I can always make him a DH later if I have to. Let's go ahead and sim a bit farther. JT Ginn, I literally did not even know who you were until right this moment. So I will happily send you to the IL. And let's get Big Zach Jackson on the roster. He can get some innings while we wait. I didn't actually want to play to the end of the regular season. I just want to play to the end of the month. So we've clinched our division. I can now say I genuinely don't know how we got this good this quickly. We've almost literally inverted our record from last season, which is just utterly, utterly wild in every sense of the word. If we look at last year's record, right? That's not what I meant. History index. Oak. Yeah, if I can win 5 more games for the end of the season, I will literally inverted my record from last year. To say that we have done good is a bit of an understatement. That's almost despite James Paxton. Like, Paxton hasn't been that fantastic. Oh, hell no, dude. I can give you $1 million. If that's not enough for you, then too bad. Friends, we have baseballed quite good this year. There was a brief moment I thought we would actually be the best team in the American League, but then the Twins went on this nuclear hot streak. Which is fine. It's no biggie. We get JT Ginn back, which is very good. He's actually a very talented player. I'm here for that. And against San Diego, a 2020 player, and playoffs begin. So the top 2 division winners do get a bye, which is wonderful news. I'm certainly not opposed to that at all, in the slightest. Let's check out the playoff roster, though. Who's being left off? Howard, I could give 2 shits about. Chad Smith's been a really good pitcher this year. Chad Smith has barely pitched at all. Okay. Oh, Giloff is injured. I see. Oh, Soderstrom is eligible to be on the roster. That's amazing. That being the case, let's go ahead and take Diaz off the roster. And let's add JP Sears. I want that other arm in the bullpen. That gives me 14 pitchers. What the fuck? I am badly confused. Who from the position players is not on the roster right now? Oh, 14 pitchers. Right. Yes, because it still shows us as having the expanded roster. I'm going to send 1 day just to let it reset that so that I can actually take a proper look. I have 12 position players. That doesn't seem like enough, though. That does not seem like enough position players. So who on earth... I mean, I could add Alan Roden, I suppose. I guess we can add Jordan Diaz and remove... Let's actually take Cobb off the roster. And let's add Jordan Diaz. That gives us a bit more flexibility, and I feel a little bit better about our chances now. Do that. And reset all of this. Okay. Cool beans. Oh, right. So we have like a proper 3-game series for the wild card now. Amazing stuff. And we get a bye into the division round to face either the White Sox or the Rays. Let's go through the first playoff round. A personal message. Austin Pruitt, the heart and soul of the Midland Rockhounds that I've never heard of before right now, has retired. Let's sim one day. Okay, so playing Tampa. Let's just sim some games. So, a glorious victory in game 1. Paxton, a very close second contest. What about Shintaro Fujinami? He got rocked. I do want you guys to get a chance to see what a game looks like. It is an elimination game. So you know what's gonna happen? We're gonna do this. We're gonna play the game. I love it. What does Tampa have the advantage at? Like 3 positions. Defense strategy will be the AI. All of this, please. Where's the P by P? We're just gonna cut the volume by like 50%, like across the board. And then we want per line for the play-by-play. I'm excited to see what this looks like. So we're going to hit start game. It is Garrett Whitlock versus Raimel Tapia. Go for it, buddy. I like the dynamic camera angle. That's pretty cool. And a leadoff single. Lovely. Lovely. I don't really feel the need to hit and run. I don't think Tapia is that good a base stealer. How many bases did you steal, my friend? You stole 24. You're actually pretty fast. Let's try a hit and run. Just to see how it works. And you fouled it off. Oh, where's my pitch widget? I demand my pitch widget. It is what gives me life. Cool. Just do your thing, buddy. A nice little accurately placed base drop. I wish Tapia hadn't waited so long, but we're off to a very good start. I can't complain too much. Oof, I can complain about striking out on that ridiculous pitch. Come on, Soderstrom. At least Tapia can tag up to third. Come on, Brennan. You can do this, I believe in you. No, you can't. Woof. Hey, we got 2 base hits, though. That's pretty solid. So, Frankie Montas is our starting pitcher. Let's see how he does. Let us see how our friend does. A little weak roll over to shortstop. Lovely. That's a great start. Wander Franco's pretty good, though. Struck him out, though. Nice. Look at this disgusting placement of his pitches. They're all right on the corners. I love it. And Curtis Mead, that pitch looked pretty stupid to swing at. Yeah, that pitch wasn't even close to the zone. Oh well. Mr. Arubio Angeles. A nice little wrap right up the middle. We're kind of like... Remember I always complain about how the other team always beat us by getting like 10 singles in a row? That's kind of what we're looking like here. That's an out. Yeah. That's an out. That is also an out. I just saw that Shea Langoliers is an all-star and hits 9th for me. That's really funny. I mean, a little duck snort right there. Lovely. And a good heads-up play to get to 3rd. Nice. Now, if Tapia can... Boop! Beautiful. A well-deserved run. And fucking Langoliers is so damn heads up he got to 3rd. That's incredibly impressive. And sadly right to the first baseman. But that's... Hey, 5 hits already, and we got a run, and that's the most important thing. Former Guardian, Fran Reyes. Easily handled by Mr. Misner. A nice flip from Angeles over to Soderstrom. Another former Guardian in Yandy Diaz. Draws the first walk, so the perfect game is over, if you were concerned. And a nice play by Isaac Paredes. Mr. Vientos. That's an out. Tyler Soderstrom. Draws a lovely walk. Excellent. Garrett Whitlock, guys, is a really freaking good pitcher, so us wearing him out like this makes me very happy. Very happy indeed. Even if we can't really hit the ball out of the infield that well. Double play. Womp womp. Manuel Margot is up. What is the weather like today? Is the weather blowing in? Oh, it's a fucking dome. I knew that. I don't know what's wrong with me, guys. I'm like, oh, derp, derp, derp. No, it's a dome. There is no wind. That's how domes work. Okay, walking Betancourt isn't ideal. Damn it, there goes the no-hitter. SMH my head. A gorgeously turned double play. Way to go, gentlemen. Way to go. Go ahead, Mr. Angeles. Oh, wow. Heads up base running, my dude. I love it. We're doing the little things right in this game. And I really appreciate that. We're taking extra bases. We're running out the tough hits. And we're putting the ball in play. And that's always a good choice. Can Nick Allen bring it home? He absolutely cannot. Absolutely not. Frankie can go a little bit longer, although I'm getting a little bit concerned that we haven't been able to get another run across, because one run means all it takes is one lucky swing and the game is tied. I mean, hey, Montas is pitching really, really well, so I'm not... Nicely done. Did he paint the black with that slider? Oh, wow, he did. We're making him work, though. I don't see him getting a fifth inning. I truly don't. Especially if we can keep wearing him down and get to that tasty, tasty bullpen. That's an out. Alright, let's keep going with you. Just like some really informative, like super cool angles and stuff, but I just haven't figured that out yet. So, yeah. Get this guy. I did not mean give up a leadoff single. That's maybe my mistake. I should have been much more specific. Throw on over. Nice. I'd sure feel good if we could get a nice big hit, a timely hit. Like, we don't got a lot of contact hitters, so we don't have a ton of power, but I would just be really happy to get, like, a double. That would be amazing. Or a 2-run homer. Okay, that does that. It's supposed to be like a cool way, though, to do, like... Yeah, here, let's do a super stats replay of that. Oh, that's very slick. 24-degree launch angle, exit velocity just barely crept over there. God, he runs like a weirdo. I love it, though. That was really cool. That's very thematic. I love it. That was a damn good pitch, too. That sinker just didn't sink quite enough, I guess. Beautiful. All right, Mr. Montas, can you give me one more inning? I mean, you're walking people a little bit more than I'd like you to, because I'd like you to walk them not at all. But we got Mead, though. That's pretty good. And beautiful work. Frankie, take a seat. You have more than earned your evening off. That was some incredible work. Let's go ahead. Who's coming up in their lineup? It's a lefty and 2 righties, so lefty is the call here. Or righty is the call here. Let's get Blake Trinan up and working. Yeah, it'll be Trinan and Miller, and then we'll see if we need Iglesias. The Jason Adam. Make up your mind. Pick a first name, dude. Oof. Adam's got some filthy stuff right there, though. I will not be singing. I refuse. You can't make me. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Wow, that pitch really got a lot of the play and got clobbered pretty hard. Maybe don't do that again. Nah, it's an infield hit. Hey, there's no shame in it. That was a really, really good job of hustling. I'm not even mad. That was just one of those weird bounces that that worked out in their favor. Beautiful. And then we're going to warm up Mason Miller. Let's put at least one more run on the board if we could, please. I mean, we're probably not going to be able to because Jason Adam is really on top of his shit today. I mean, we're fouling a bunch of pitches off, which is very impressive, but he's on his game. Jesus. This guy is something. A nice little inside-out swing by Brennan, but not good enough, unfortunately. Let's get Mason Miller in the game. Brilliant. Oh man, one of those dying quail shots. If you want to steal second, I'm not going to stop you. I'd rather focus on the hitter. Yeah, that's not going to work. Oh, this could be very, very bad. We got to do it though. We got to get him out. Beautiful. Beautiful clutch work there, Mason Miller. I love it. So here's an interesting question. I'm not going to get Iglesias up. I think that would seem like a very poor decision to me. Instead, I'm going to warm up Ginn and Sears. Here's my thinking. I can always warm up Iglesias if I desperately need him. Jesus, Adam. Holy hell, my dude. At least we got rid of him. Good gravy, he was nasty. I mean, I could have done without the... Oh, at least it wasn't double play. The only reason that wasn't double play is because it's already 2 outs. Okay, so here's my thinking. I really don't want to blow out Iglesias, especially when I'm going to need him for tomorrow. So I'm going to let JT Ginn get a chance at a save here just because I want to preserve Iglesias if I can. That's a good start. I didn't realize that was a fair ball. I thought that was a foul ball. Let's get a replay of that, actually. Oh, that was definitely a... I just didn't see it. Fair on me. Beautiful. All right, and you know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like we're playing the next game, too. Bunch of people got promoted. Let's really quickly pop on over to here. And let's just start inviting people to do things. Okay, so we just added 10 people. All right. And finish today, please. No thanks. All right. Let's see what we can accomplish here. Got Ariel Miranda, the lefty, on the mound. Doesn't throw super hard, but he's a crafty sausage. Okay, that opening camera angle makes you a little bit dizzy, I gotta say. I don't love the idea of giving up a leadoff single. That's not my thing. 10 pitches? Holy shit. Damn, Rosarena. That was insane. Yeah, we got him out, but we used 16 pitches to face 2 batters. That's not a great start. And this team apparently feasts on left-handed pitching. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Please, I beg of you. Okay, this Rays lineup is terrifying against left-handed pitching. That is for sure. That's an oot. At least Brian Reynolds is a switch hitter. That helps a bit. A nice single. I appreciate that. Tyler Soderstrom. Can you do some damage to this baseball? I mean, you can strike out. Ah, well. Oh, God. I'm really concerned about how well they're playing against left-handed pitching. I need a favor. I need you to just do your best. What happened? Oh, is it out? That was weird. Come on, guys. Quit fucking stealing bases on me. That's not cool. And an infield single? Oh no, this has the makings of a not amazing performance. Hell, I'll be happy if I get 3 innings, but you know what? No, I'm not gonna push my luck. They dominate left-handed pitching. I gotta get him out of the game. I have to. Which stamina do you have, Mr. Brebbia? Very, very little. I can't do that. This is going to be like a mega bullpen game. Because I really... Yeah, JT Ginn can actually pitch a couple innings. But I need to get the lefty out of the game, like, right now. I'm frankly terrified of what they can achieve if he stays in the game. Plus, he's really erratic in his control today. And this is an important game. If we don't win this game, then we're done. No more season for us. Okay, got runners on first and second. Nick Allen isn't an amazing hitter. Do I bunt? Or do we just swing away? Guys, we're going to bunt. I hate it so much, but I think we have to. And we're going to try it a second time. That was a beautifully executed bunt, Mr. Allen. I appreciate it. This is Cameron Misner to hopefully... Oh, beautiful work, my friend. Way to plug the gap. Absolutely fantastic. That is clutch as fuck, my dude. I mean, that's less clutch. It's just a weak fly ball out. I mean, Misner probably could have made third there. I'm not going to question it, though, because I'm really happy with his performance right there, but okay. So, yeah, Ariel Miranda has been not great. So I'm going to pull him out of the game now. It's going to be a bullpen game. And an oot. Sorry, the amount of pitches he threw to that first hitter is like, I knew he didn't have his stuff. And I didn't want to keep him in too early. Too long. I've got a very deep and capable bullpen, so I'm more than happy to let them finish this game out. Okay. Yeah. Brian got a nice piece of that, but sad. Oh, it dropped. Did it really? I mean, I believe you, game, but let's check this out here. That was really close, actually. If he had taken a dive right there, he potentially could have made that work. And a double for Soderstrom. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Mark Vientos. Let's get a run. Okay, bases loaded for Yohel Pozo. His first at bat that we've actually seen. Let's see what he can do. I mean, the force at home is kind of lame. I didn't like that. This is at least one run. I will take that. Oh, it's not because it was such a little wimpy swing. Come on, Nick Allen. God damn it. Guys, if you load the bases with the nobody out, you're supposed to score a run. That's how it's meant to work. A good pitch. Very nice. Oops. He booted it. Oh, you're not calling that an error? I would call it an error, but okay. And a beautiful 6-4-3. Lovely. So far, game hero Cameron Misner is back up. And it's a lazy fly ball out. That's okay, though. It's okay. I just don't think Langoliers is going to be a long-term piece for the A's. He's too limited. What he does extremely well, but I just don't trust him that closely. If you can get out of this inning again, then your night will be at an end. Beautiful. Okay, James Ginn has been fan-fucking-tastic, and he definitely deserves his seat. I think we're probably going to go, because let's see, it's going to be the 6th inning. I think we're going to go McGill, Palouse, Miller, Iglesias. We're just going to go right the way down. I think that makes the most sense to me. It wasn't that athletic a play. He just moved slightly and just grabbed it out of the air. Wasn't that impressive, but sure. I mean, Shane McClanahan is an amazing pitcher, so I am not at all upset that we've had such a difficult time keeping it up on him. Okay, Mr. McGill. Oh, no. Oh, that's out. No, it's not. It's a double. Maybe a triple. Yeah, that was not great. I mean, Arozarena is also very, very fast. Tyler, my boy, that was not well designed. Honestly, you got a fucking way with one right there for number 4. Figure out your shit real quick, please. No? Give up a run? Okay. Oh my god, dude. You suck today, and I could not afford a bad performance in the pen. I'm gonna get you... I'm gonna get a mound visit in. Feels good as ever. Then get somebody out, you fucking jerk. You're the fucking worst, dude. The absolute worst. I mean, that was a garbage changeup, and he just destroyed it. And that... Oh my god, dude. You are the opposite of a hero in Tampa. Alright, you're done. You're not allowed to pitch anymore. You have forfeited your right to be a good pitcher. Yeah, nice work by Langoliers. Always appreciated. Come on, team. Damn it. Yeah, McClanahan is locked in, and yes. You're gonna have to pitch this inning too. Or at least start pitching it, because I want to try to save Miller and Iglesias for the last inning. Last 2 innings. In case it's relevant. And it may not be relevant. It may not actually matter. But we're gonna try it for sure. Well, hey. We got some stuff done, but now we've gotta make a comeback out of this. McClanahan doesn't have a lot more in the tank. And they can't use Jason Adam again, so maybe there's a chance if we can just put some pressure on him. I forgot. No. Put in Trinan. I guess that's fine. And we'll get Miller warming up too. Just in case it's relevant. Like, I don't want to fall behind by more, but I also don't want to risk injury if we don't have to. Okay, he was right on top of that one. Can you do me a favor and visit the mound? Thank you. And let's get him in the game. Why can't I? What? Huh? Why am I not allowed to bring in my pitcher? What the fuck is going on there? That was bizarre. Anyway, let's do some damage, friends. Let's try to make some noise. Okay, a strikeout is not the noise I was looking for. A nice big fat solo homer, though, is... Let's get a replay of that, Tater. He turned around on that fastball. Oof. he got badly fooled by that curveball. He looked pretty silly there. And that's an out. Damn it. Oh, it's a single. Okay. Mr. Angelus, if you would be kind enough to get a hit. No? Oh my god, dude. That fucking curveball was actually a really good pitch. That was actually quite a nice pitch. Alright, Mason Miller is in. I mean, maybe don't walk the first hitter you face would be great. Even better is then not giving up a base hit right after that. Miller, you're a really good fucking pitcher. I don't know why you're deciding to pitch poorly, but I need you to stop, please. That's an easy run. It was a nice attempt, but yeah, that's a run. That's a critical insurance run for them. Damn. I would like to pinch hit for Nick Allen. Who do I have on my bench? I have Hernandez, I have Diaz, I have Brennan, and I have Ruiz. Okay, I can move Angelos to shortstop and then play Hernandez at second if it's relevant. I think Brennan is probably the better overall choice. Bring 268 this season. Hernandez hit 243. Yeah, let's bring in Brennan to hit for Nick Allen. Just get on base, Mr. Brennan. That's all we're asking for. Beautiful. Misner, can you get it done again? No, you can hit into an almost double play. I mean, Misner's pretty fast. That would have been a tricky deal regardless. And Mr. Langoliers is going to get a chance to hit. And he's going to hit into the game-ending double play. McGill! You absolute fucking jackwagon. Shane McClanahan was good as shit this game. I don't want to take anything away from his talent level, but this is very clearly McGill disintegrating like a piece of wet toilet paper. Damn, son. Zam. Well, it's not gonna be the Mets repeating, that's for sure. Can the Rays bring it home? Where's Atlanta? Atlanta gets another World Series championship. Sigh. But let's not lose sight of what happened this season. We were one of the worst teams in the majors last year, and we not only won the playoffs, or got to the playoffs, we actually made a decent amount of noise. And that's really exciting stuff. Alex Cobb. See you later, champ. Blake Trinan. See you later, champ. He wants you to bring drafted players to the team. Okay. People are leaving. No, I don't think I will. how am I looking as a minor league system? We're the third best minor league system. That's very exciting. I mean, the Dodgers are clearly number one with a bullet, but we're very, very good, and I'm very pleased with that. Very pleased indeed. Okay, we're not going to do the off-season stuff. We're going to stay out for the off-season, but we will break down how the season ended and what we think might be coming in the future. I said batting ratings, you absolute potato. First of all, Brian Reynolds came in as advertised. Was he quite as good as he was with Pittsburgh? No. But he was still a top-tier player and very, very good at his job. Next on our list is Cameron Misner. Cameron stole 42 bases, hit 22 home runs, and played a very effective center field. Now, Misner is one of my early candidates to perhaps decline. But maybe not two. We're just going to have to see what happens. Misner is a real candidate for Rookie of the Year, potentially. Shea Langoliers. I don't know what to do with him long term. He's too cheap not to play him next year. That's not even a consideration. But his only skill is hitting homers, and I'm concerned that his offensive profile is too limited to be an everyday catcher for a long time. Nick Allen had a really good season too. Offensively, maybe a bit unimpressive, but the defense was there. Probably not a Gold Glove, but maybe. Rubio Angeles had a very fine season of his own. He made the jump from Double-A to the majors look effortless, so good work on him. Mark Vientos. I still think there's a ton of talent here. But he definitely had a rough time in the majors this year. He's also not really a third baseman. He wasn't bad at the position by any means, but some work is needed there. Tapia probably needs to go. Maybe he'll get traded. Maybe I'll figure something else to do with him. He's extremely limited, and that his only skills is hitting for average and hitting doubles. The rest of his game isn't good enough to carry him into being a top-line starter. Estuary Ruiz is even worse, though. So we might have a right field issue that we're going to need to sort out here before too much longer. Will Brennan probably deserves a bit more playing time than he's gotten, but he's hardly amazing either. Tyler Soderstrom had a really solid regular season, but I think we're going to see a lot more of him. But he is a very key piece of this team's future, and I can't wait to see what he does next. Jordan Diaz sucks. We probably need to find something to do with him, and Hernandez wasn't that impressive either. So here's the good news. None of these players had like an MVP caliber season, but none of them played poorly either. We got lots of contributions from lots of different places, and nobody played way out of their minds. That's the good news. The less good news is that a couple of the players that had really great seasons don't seem like great bets to repeat. Cameron Misner might be that guy, and he might not be. As long as he combines power and speed, he's always going to have a role on this team. Shea Langoliers, all it takes is 10 of those homers falling short, and he's a much worse player. So we still need offensive play drivers, besides Brian Reynolds and potentially Tyler Soderstrom and Mark Vientos. Now, part of this might just get better because they play better. Where young players get more opportunities and prove that they're even better than we thought they were. The pitching. So this is both a surprising source of strength and also our biggest weakness. None of our starting pitchers were head and shoulders fantastic. Shintaro Fujinami was fine. We got a decent season at James Paxton, but it was really our bullpen that made this season possible. We have to get better starters. I think that is the key takeaway from this season. Also, nobody pitched 200 innings. I wonder if there's like some sort of issue where he's pulling them out of games too quickly. But this is a surprising success in one sense of the word. We're also gonna have to make some very difficult decisions in the offseason to find starting pitching. Let us conclude by checking on our youngsters. Aiden Harris. You had an encouraging season in the minors, but you're only just 18. I'm not going to rush you to full season ball. You can stay in the minors for one more season. Owen Paino did a lot of things really, really well. I think I'm going to leave you in rookie ball too, though. Like, basically, I'm looking for a fantastic performance to consider bumping them up. Did a good job drawing some walks. Again, there's nothing wrong with him, but I do want to let him develop a bit more. Scouting. You're trending in the wrong direction. You're also trending in the wrong direction, but only after you trended in the right direction, so I don't know what the deal is there. Scouting. Traeger. Traeger is developing his actual talent level, but he's already lost some potential. And Mr. Victorian. I mean, this shit's got to stop right quick. That is ridiculous. And he actually lost control this season. Oh dear. Well, too few at bats to make any real determinations about them and their future. Mr. Verdugo is only 19, and while I think he acquitted himself well in the rookie ball, I think he needs another year in A ball before we push him any further. And everybody else that's highly ranked is up in the majors already, or is in AAA, which means I can't promote them anymore. How did things go? So Paul Skeens, keep in mind the Pacific Coast League is a difficult league to pitch in. It's a pitcher's league. It's a hitter's league, excuse me. But he's actually improving very nicely. At the very least, Skeens is going to get a shot in spring training. I don't think there's any way of avoiding that. Ryan Cusick is a really interesting pitcher. I don't frankly know what he has to offer us, but he's probably earned a 40-man spot, or 38-man spot, sorry. Blackburn is whatever. Muncy is intriguing. He's definitely shown that he can hit in the minors, but I'd like to see him get a bit more experience there. He's still only 22. Mr. Daniel Susak has hit at every level. But I do want to see him capitalize a bit more on his tools. So I think that's the big takeaway, is we really need truly dynamic players. And we've got a couple of them. We've got Soderstrom, who the sky seems to be the limit for his overall offensive capabilities. And while his major league debut wasn't fantastic, he was still really, really good. We got an amazing rookie season out of Cameron Misner. I think Misner's got a fair chance for Rookie of the Year, and then we get to see if winning awards gets you draft picks, which is how it is in real Major League Baseball, because I'd love some extra draft picks if I could manage them. Let's talk about what we're losing. So, Montas, Paxton, Blackburn, Trinan, Cobb, Ruchinski, all are leaving. None of them are like, oh my god, we're doomed. But that is 3 starting pitchers we have to replace. That's going to be interesting. Jorge Mateo still has arbitration time left. That's actually really encouraging. I didn't realize that. Tyler McGill had a really good regular season, so I feel like I can't sell him out yet. But that was really disappointing to end the way that it did. To just melt down in a dramatic and unpleasant fashion. I'm not too big a fan of that. But that's going to conclude today's episode. I hope you enjoyed watching the games. I hope you're enjoying the series thus far. Please do join me next time. Like the other videos that'll be coming next week, I won't get a chance to see comments before I record the second video because I'll be out of town. So I beg your indulgence and your kindness. In case I did something incredibly stupid this episode or next, and you're like, oh my god, Abby, how could you be so fucking stupid? It's because I didn't see it. So, until next time, my friends, this has been Ab Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you